対象と認識。行動開始。殲滅する。
Steam has H games. I know, radical realization, right? But every once in a while, it just smacks me upside the head just how convenient this is now. I mean, not too long ago, getting an H game involved browsing sketchy forums to find a game, browsing sketching download sites to get part 1 of like 200 of that game, browsing a completely different site from the first 2 to get the English patch for the game, and then playing the game only to discover nothing but the title screen is in English. And now, you just click on the adult tag on Steam. Man, if only there were other services with this level of convenience back then. But anyway, after that, another realization hit me. I've barely reviewed any of them. I should probably work on fixing that. What's up guys, and today we are talking about RoboLife, a title created by Barant Studios. And why are we talking about it? Well, because 1, I got it for free from my friends at Critical Bliss, insert disclaimer here, and 2, robot girls.
Is there a particular topic you wish to discuss, Shepard?
I don't know if I showed it off that much on this channel, but when it comes to my personal favorite archetypes, robot girls are in the top 3.
Look at that! I would have baked a cake.
I am right here, Shepard.
So it shouldn't surprise you that when I learned of this game's existence, I immediately turned to the guys at Critical Bliss and went,
"Let me in! Let me in!"
But if that's true, why didn't you talk about it when the game came out?
why haven't I reviewed Rant's Quest yet? I'm sorry, but there are some questions I simply do not have the answers for. But here we are, and I have to say, it's alright.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
I mean, if you guys know anything about me, is that I'm not much of a VN person. And while this game does have a bit of gameplay to it, in the form of customizing your robot, it's still mostly just an indie tier VN, and to be honest, not a very engaging one writing wise.
はい。肯定です。
But, in the game's defense, it's a Nukige, an H game primarily about adult content rather than story or gameplay. But that defense is pretty paper thin when the H content on offer is surprisingly spaced out, though it's still plentiful enough to have a 34 CG gallery. It did rip a chuckle from me every once in a while, like having a cat-obsessed old man who hates androids because the world prioritized scientific advancement in robotics over making genetically engineered cat girls, which is funny enough by itself. But then they went the extra mile by having him name his cats after Nekopara characters. See, Subverse? This is how you do a damn pop culture reference, you motherfucker. Sorry, like I said, robot waifus are my thing, and Subverse's blunder.
Oh, yes. I will insatiably gobble your massive cock, daddy.
Weighs heavily on my soul. Speaking of robot waifus, I think my somewhat negative opinion of the game, at least initially, stemmed from the main character because at the beginning she is completely unlikable. I think the writer was going for a traditional Kuudere style character, a cold, quiet, and aloof girl who gradually warms up to the protagonist, but with the premise of being a hostile robot, she just comes across as a bitch, to be honest. I actually recorded an earlier version of this video comparing the character to the likes of Asuka or Naru because early on, Aino's hostility is largely unfounded. But as the game progresses, it does fall into a much more tried and true anime dynamic. Yes, the old-fashioned pervert and his abusive girlfriend. This I can get behind. A lot of it does come down to the writing though, because in terms of gameplay, it does do more than the standard VN, which I really appreciate, even if I think it could have gone a bit farther with things like minigames or more customization. The writing though just isn't all that interesting to me. I most likely won't remember Aino when thinking about my favorite Robo Waifus that I've come across in video games. Honestly, I think this game will be fine for casual VN fans, and clearly that's the case with the game sitting at mostly positive and the devs confirming a sequel is in the works. But for me, I definitely see this as a smaller budget title attempting to punch above its weight class, especially since I did find a couple of artistic errors in the CGs, like outlines from cut-ins in one of them and coloring going outside the lines in another, as well as some questionable writing moments, like being told the main character is finally able to insert tab A into slot B with Aino, after I've already gone through like 3 other 8 scenes with her, with no implication that that scene was a flashback. In conclusion, it's okay. I don't hate the game or anything, like there are some games I have played for this channel that give me an allergic reaction at the mere thought of clicking on their executable again, and this isn't one of them. I'll eventually see it to the end, but at the same time, there are other VNs, not games, VNs in the same price range like Valhalla that do scratch that same cyberpunk itch and do it much better. But then again, Valhalla isn't an H game, so you do have to ask yourself how much is that H content worth to you. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. Matane.